So let's start totting our cakes. So I will not emphasize more on totting because we already have covered in detail how to tot in our basic classes, the cake baking masterclass. So still to give you a gist, an idea of how we do it, just mark equally with a very thin line and then start going to and fro. You need to be really careful. This is very pointy and sharp. Just keep on going to and fro. The actually base that I am using is slipping. In a separate, once you're done totting, just keep it on a separate base. So I will be using these acrylic bases. Okay, these are the acrylic base with a hole in the center, if you can see it. The hole is here, right? So I'll use two base. If you do not have these, you can poke holes in your normal base and you can use that also. So I will use one of the base and start building my cakes. Take your ganache. So also I want to mention that for this I prefer, because it's peak of summers and for reasons people have their wedding in winters, so I prefer the consistency of ganache to be 3:1, dark chocolate ganache I'm talking about, and not 2:1, because otherwise in transportation or in handling it might just spoil your cake. So it's always advisable that you have 3:1 ganache in summers for at least your wedding cakes. So we do a lot of changes in the consistency of ganache throughout the year depending on the weather and the temperature outside. Okay, so we need to put a lot of ganache on the base of this, and I would also want to put one base as a below support and then keep my acrylic sheet on top. Okay, and then I will start building my cake. So I'll just lift it. If you want to soak it, you can soak it also, but I don't prefer soaking. See that you have equal, basically it's set in the middle. You have to check that so that all the sides have equal gaps in space so that you are able to fill in ganache properly. Once this is done, it might look darker to you because we have used more chocolate than, it's not 2:1 like I've told you, it's 3:1. So we have used more chocolate and that's why the color is darker. Okay, if it's 2:1 then it has more cream. And the cream helps in getting the lighter shade. base tier, basically bottom tier. I'm putting some more, and I'm only working through with the palette knife and the chocolate ganache, and I'm not touching the crumbs of the cake much. I've explained all of this in the basic classes already. So I'll just focus on filling and frosting quickly because a lot of things need to be done in this class. Because it's a big cake, okay? We are making a 10-inch cake. So once you're happy with the filling, please do a generous filling always, because it's a lot of cake. So the frosting needs to be generous for the wedding cakes or mostly. Then we will have our top tier. Then slide in it, just press it from the center, and if you see that the sides are drooping like this, don't worry, just lift it up and put some ganache inside. That is going to hold the shape, okay? I think it looks good. So far so good. So whenever you see that it's a little droopy, just fill in, tuck it in, don't worry, just tuck it in, and do that right away. Otherwise after that you will only be okay. So when you tuck ganache in, the edges become straight already. See this? Now these are straightened. Let's do the frosting now. This is a really big cake, okay? So it is going to take a lot of frosting. just coat your square cake nice and even as much as possible. Do the sides also. You already know how to frost, right? Frost a cake. So just however you're comfortable, just keep on frosting it. Filling in all the gaps in between. Okay. I'm using Mode compound. So if you are asking, if you are wanting to know which chocolate I'm using, so for this one I'm using Mode compound, and if you use 3:1 ratio, it's actually it looks very dark. See, I'm just covering. I'm not yet looking for a sharp edged cake, okay? Just first and foremost, you need to cover it entirely and set it nicely. At least for 2 to 3 hours or until completely set. Now, after this is done, just do a rough cleaning and then we set it in the fridge, if possible overnight. If you don't have time, then at least for 3 to 4 hours, or until it's completely set and rock hard. Okay, So now after the cake is set in the fridge well, you can see that it's rock hard now, nothing is coming off in your hands. And then you will want to smooth the top first. Okay, just smooth the top. Just take a little by little frosting. Because it's chilled, it's going to set right away then and there. So just be a little quick. Don't worry about the corners and edges as yet. Don't get intimidated by the process. Don't be afraid. Just take one step at a time. Because you didn't know how to bake before a couple of months, right? Now you're baking and now you have reached a level where you are considering making wedding cakes. So just don't be too hard on yourself. Okay. So after this, you need to take butter paper. Okay, and you have to cut butter paper to the roughly to the size of your cake. Okay, and once you place your butter paper, just cut it rough, and then you are going to place the other square. So after you're done doing this, then take a butter paper, or you can also take cookie sheet if you have it. Take a cookie paper, okay, and just place it on top of this like this, and then place the top base. And now you have to make sure that it's in a straight line, not going here and there. You have to measure it like this. Okay, just keep it straight, perpendicular. Do you get it? You have to keep it straight, perpendicular, and you have to match both the base, this bottom base and also the tier base. Otherwise what may happen is that your base is like this. So when you're trying to do a sharp edge, it's going slant. So it has to be like proper, straight. Okay, so what I suggest is remove your turntable for a while and keep it on the base and then try to do it. Like this. Okay. This looks straight to me. Now turn it around. Do from all the sides. And wherever adjustment is required, just push it a little and do the adjustments. Okay, this looks fine to me. And the fourth side. Okay, this looks nice. Okay. Do it like really nicely so that you have the edges straight. Now what you have to do is you have to fill your frosting into the gaps, and this time you have to be really generous and fill it to the top. See, this is how you are going to fill it. Just let it be rough, don't worry. Do it from all the sides. But try not to leave any gaps in between. That's one thing you need to be careful about. So there are little gaps at the bottom. Don't get worried about it. Keep on filling up. You just have to stick both the base together in place. First you have to concentrate on that so that the base doesn't move. Now you can take a turntable and place the entire cake on the turntable. This way it will be easier for you to control it, okay? Now take little by little frosting and just try to fill in the gaps. At one go you will not be able to do it because somewhere it's really soft and it is going to come off. So do it gradually. You can pop it in the fridge for a couple of times and when it sets you can go back for the second round also. Like, let me just show you. See, this is how it's coming together, but there are gaps still that you can see and there is this gap also, but if I'm trying to do it right away, I can't do it because it's still soft. So I will have to set it well in the fridge so that I can go all over it again, okay? So see, once you smoothen out the sides, this is how it's going to look, but it's not finished yet. So at this point of time, clean it up a little more and then pop it in the fridge so that it's set really well. Where there are gaps, big gaps, and you can fill up, you can do that. Else I really suggest that at this point of time, just leave it. Don't be in a hurry to finish it off at one go. Unnecessarily you're going to rip off whatever you have, put into so much of labor and hard work. You are unnecessarily going to rip it off. Now after setting it well in the fridge, I am going to cover all these, the gaps that you see, okay? So go gradually and cover everything that you see now. You can use whatever you want. You want to use a bench scraper, you can use a bench scraper. You want to use a palette knife, you can use a palette knife, whatever you're comfortable with. See this? The big gaps, okay? I'm just going to cover it nicely. And make sure that you fill it in nicely. Apply some extra. There is no harm in applying a little extra. You can always scrape it off. But you don't want any gaps. It has to be from edge to edge. See? I'm filling up the gaps now. Press it really nicely into the gaps. You don't just want to put a layer, but you want to fill it up nicely so that it's not, there is no gap from within. See, I'm trying to fill up all the gaps that's there. Okay. Now I will use my bench scraper to do the finishing. Take little by little and just pull. Okay. See, do you see this gap in the at the bottom? Try to fill that up as well. These gaps will be taken care of later. Do you see this? Gradually you can see that the edges will be formed. These extras we have to again, if you see such extra, just hold it and pull it, okay? You need a base which is bigger than this. Actually I am facing a little problem because the lower base, this portion, this portion basically, I can't put my bench scraper on it. So I'm trying to put it on this base. You need a base which is bigger than the cake, bigger than the tier basically. If this is your 10 inches, so try and take a 12 inch or 14 inch square base. I don't have a 12 inch base right now with me. So I'm just doing it with this one. Okay. And now just try to pop it in the fridge for some time so that whatever layers you are putting now, they set well, okay? Because it's too hot. If it was winters, then you wouldn't have to set it so many times. But in summers, 40 degrees in Delhi now, so it's always advisable to keep it in the fridge again and again and try to layer it. See, do you see? It already has started to hold the shape. You can do a little more on these sides where there is, you can see some gaps. As much as possible you try to do it. If you think that it's ripping off, then put it in the fridge. And on the sides also, just pull it upwards and pull it upwards like this. And from the other side also, try to pull it upwards. See this? Trying to put some and pull it upwards. Upwards like this. Okay? Now, and final. Just getting rid of the excess. Now at this point of time, keep it in the fridge for some more time, around 15-20 minutes, so that it's really set well. And you should always try and frost multiple tiers together. So what happens is, the resting time that one is into, you can work on the other tier. That's what I'm doing actually. See, it's looking so perfect already. Okay, so we'll keep it in the fridge and allow it to set for some time. Setting it. So now after setting it well into the fridge, again I just want to finish it off. Okay. This time you need a softer ganache. And go from bottom to top, just to cover wherever it has not been covered nicely. Okay, you see this? The patch that you see, I have just filled it. Okay, from going from down to top. Like this. Again from down to top. Like this. And then once you're done doing this, you can again hold your bend scraper straight and just pull it so that the excess is gone. Okay, and just pull it straight like so. See this? This will give you ultimate smooth frosting. Do that for all the sides. And get rid of the excess. like this. Okay. Do you see this? Okay. And do it on all the sides. Just hold it like this and scrape the excess. Okay, you see this? See this? Okay, if you have time, you can keep on working over it couple of more times. Once you achieve this sharp pointy edges, please set it in the fridge well before you start handling it again, because you don't want to spoil your hard work that you've done all this while. Okay, so after you think you are happy with this, just keep it in the fridge for some time so that it's well set. Okay, then for now I'm happy with this, because see, otherwise it is going to need more time, and also if I had a bigger base than this, it would have been quicker and easier for me. So always try to grab hold of a bigger base, because this bent scraper, otherwise you cannot stick properly. If you have a bigger base, then you can again go in and out, you can go really in and out and place the bent scraper well. But because I have these round edges to these sides, but I think for now I'm really happy with this one. Okay, so I'll just keep it in the fridge before I show you how to do the top one. So now, after this has been chilled and set well, we have to carefully take off this upper base that we have put. So just take it out gently using a sharp knife or something. I'm just using my X-Acto knife. Be very careful not to damage the entire frosting, okay? Lift it gently. So if you are trying to lift it from one side, it will get lifted, don't worry. See? You see this? And gradually to all the sides. Okay? So this is off. Right? But we still have the sharp edges. Do you see this? Now what you have to do is peel off your butter paper, and see, it gets peeled off, so it gets peeled off so easily. And you will see that there are gaps and unevenness. You can fill this up now nicely. You can use smaller palette knives like offset ones, or anything that you are comfortable with. You can use the medium ones or the bigger ones also, whatever you are comfortable with. I will be using the smaller ones because I am more comfortable with this one. Okay, just fill in the gaps. Don't have to do anything else. Just fill the gaps and pull it straight. Just try to level it, nothing else. I'm filling in the gaps. There was a little gap here, right? And make sure that the ganache is really soft so that you can fill in the gaps nicely. Gentle strokes. Take your time and do this. So after you fill in all the gaps, and if you still see that there are some, dents or some unevenness, what you can do is take a little frosting. See, this frosting is softer than the earlier frosting that I was using. Okay, just take it on your bench scraper, and wherever you see unevenness, just pull it like that, and you will see that it will even out. Okay, it's completely evening it out. So these are the tips that you need to follow when you are trying to make a square cake. Do you see this? Okay, so if I was not doing it for the class, I would have gone for a little more. You might think that it's a lot of work to achieve the sharp edge in square cake, but trust me, because I am teaching you and doing it really slowly and one step at a time. Otherwise, when you get the hang of it, it will be really easy for you to do it. It is not going to take you this much time. Okay, so because I am recording and I am making things really step by step for you to be able to follow, that's why it's looking as if it's too many steps, but it's actually not. Okay, so now at this point of time, it's completely your choice. You can keep on and on and on working on it, but I think I'm really happy with how it has come out, right? So do you see that this is really easy? Now one more tip that I would want to share. Sometimes, did you see what did I do? At the end, I have tried to level the sides using my bench scraper. Okay, so whatever unevenness, if it is there little bit also, it is going to come on top, like the fault line cakes. Okay, and then now you chill it in the fridge completely nicely, and then with a very sharp blade or razor or X-Acto knife, you can just trim off the thin side layer that is coming off. Otherwise, as a beginner, you will keep on juggling and doing the same thing again and again. Okay, we don't want that. So we will chill it in the fridge, and then I will show you how to drape it.